11 years ago, I started the Don't Buy This Shit series, now known as the Dumpster Fire series, with a video on Halo 3, which I hated. I loved Halo 1 and 2 on the original Xbox, and so when I sat down and played Halo 3, it became clear to me that Bungie was sick of doing them and wanted out. I felt this even more strongly with ODST and Reach, and guess what? I was right. Now it's 11 years later, and I finally had time to sit down and power through the campaign for Halo 5. And what can I say? Under 343's watch, they've accomplished something I previously thought impossible. They made it even worse. I don't even know where to begin with this crap fest, dear God. Gameplay, I guess. It pretty much plays just like Halo 4, with all the little enhancements they ripped off from Call of Duty still present and accounted for, so it doesn't really feel like Halo anymore, aside from the fact that every enemy in the game is a bullet sponge. You still end up fighting a bunch of the same enemies you've been fighting for 19 years, along with the enemies from Halo 4. They all still attack the same way, dodge the same way, run away the same way, and so on. In other words, there's no real surprises on the gameplay front. Were it not for the plot, you'd be hard-pressed to think it was much more than just a remaster of Halo 4. They also have co-op in the main campaign, and that's cool, I suppose, but it results in you still having to connect to the server if you're just wanting to play single-player, which is a huge pain in your Spartan armor-clad ass. In fact, if anything, I think the AI has been dumbed down to a ridiculous degree. I played the campaign on normal, and there are numerous sections in the game where you don't have to kill anything at all. All you have to do, assuming you know where you're going, is just run past all the enemies and get to the next cutscene trigger point. Now obviously that's not true of every scenario. Some won't let you progress until you've killed every enemy in the area. But for others, you can just hop, skip, and jump straight to the next marker, let the cutscene load, and then move on with your day. It's kind of a joke, really. But hey, at least the game never crashed on me. That's something, I guess. And trust me, after having Recore crash on me repeatedly, I consider Halo 5's relative stability to be almost a game feature at this point. The graphics play it extremely safe. I was expecting a lot more from Microsoft's flagship series, but nope. It looks just like Halo 4. But with better anti-aliasing and a fairly stable 60 frames per second presentation thanks to dynamic resolution scaling, even when playing on the almighty Xbox One X. It uses motion capture for character animation, but you can't really see it in the facial models. It looks like they captured the original actors' faces okay, but didn't actually capture the actors' performances. It just looks like they scanned their faces and then animated the facial animation by hand. Compared to facial animation in the equally awful game The Last of Us 2, Halo 5's face tech looks decidedly last gen. It still looks like Halo, that's about the best I can say about it. I did notice some graphical physics glitches here and there as well. Enemies getting stuck in walls, enemies twitching in crash death animations, enemies dying standing up or crouched because the death animation didn't trigger, the usual stuff, but nothing that I would necessarily call game-breaking. The voice acting is agreeable. It's not going to win any awards, but it's leagues better than the voice acting in most of Microsoft's other first-party efforts, although the voices for the grunts haven't really changed at all in 19 years. They still sound like xenophobic, anti-human little smurfs who talk a big game when they don't know you're standing behind them, then scream for their lives as you waste ammo sending them into their annoying enemy afterlife. The music is better than the Tangerine Dream wannabe soundtrack of Halo 3, but that's not exactly saying anything, really. Aside from the main Halo theme, there's nothing exhilarating or memorable here. It feels like a Call of Duty soundtrack. It was composed by Kazuma Jinochi, whose other credits include Iron Man VR, Metal Gear Solid 4, that awful last-gen game Never Dead, a couple of Pro Evolution Soccers, Jumanji The Next Level, the Detective Pikachu movie, and Halo 4. He put his own spin on the main Halo theme with the choir voices and what have you, but it really feels generic outside of that, as though the title of the score was Western First-Person Shooter Score number 856. Aside from him taking a 20-year-old theme and slightly reworking it, it really feels like he just wanted a paycheck. I guess those 13 episodes of Ultraman just weren't paying the bills, you know? And that brings me to the absolute worst aspect of this travesty, the story. Instead of simply introducing yet another new race of enemies to the proceedings, 343 dipped their hand into the top hat of worn-out sci-fi plot tropes and pulled out AI turns evil and goes rogue. Yes, Cortana, the character so beloved by generations of Halo fans, who has been shipped and fan-serviced all to hell for 2 decades of online debauchery, has caught herself a terminal case of the Skynets. She now sees biological life as the cause of all disharmony in the universe, and Shodan be praised, she's going to disarm all biological races in a plan that will wipe out all biological life out of existence so cybernetic life forms, and Master Chief, can live in peace and harmony. And that's where everything goes to hell. Chief and his original blue team of Spartans go AWOL on a mission to try and bring Cortana back to the light side of the Force. Obviously, his supervisors, who just want to blow Cortana up, don't agree with this decision, so they send out another team of Spartans headed up by Locke to stop him, and then to kill him, and then to save him, and then to get him a date on Tinder. I swear they can't make up their minds what to do with Chief. Maybe that's why you barely play as him. Yeah, that's right. Because swapping out the main character and forcing the fans to endure seeing the story from the perspective of another character that they've had zero time in previous games to build up an emotional attachment to has worked so well in the past. You get a couple of missions as Chief in the beginning, and then the bulk of the game you play as Locke, either hunting Chief down to capture him, or hunting him down to kill him, or hunting him down to save him. There's nothing organic about this change of opinion where Chief is concerned, really. The plot just randomly hops from one motive to the next, whatever the current mission design requires. Towards the end, you get 1 or 2 more missions with Master Chief, with one literally just walking around as the Chief while you're given yet another hearty dose of James Bond exposition as Cortana goes full Blomfield and explains her entire master plan. And then, as the ultimate spit in your face, you don't even finish the game as Master Chief. You finish it as Locke, rescuing Chief at literally the last second. The plot is spread out over multiple chapters, but every 2 or 3 chapters, you get a mission where you just have to walk across an area, talk to an NPC, and then bam! Achievement pops for completing that chapter. I thought, based on the number of chapters, I was going to get a lengthy 15 to 20 hour campaign, but no. It wasn't bad enough that they bait and switched as Locke for Master Chief, but every 2 or 3 missions, they bait and switch us exposition-laden walking simulators instead of, actual gameplay. Hell, they couldn't even come up with acceptable boss fights. You pretty much fight the same damn boss over and over again throughout the campaign. This annoying Promethean asshat named the Warden Eternal. The last big boss fight of the game, in fact, is you fighting 3 wardens at once, which you accomplish by just running from ammo dump to ammo dump, taking out their ridiculously long life bars one at a time, hiding behind columns while you wait for your shield to reload. There's not even a final boss fight to this game. The last level is a long, drawn-out, we must destroy 5 thingies to open another thingy. Oh, and each thingy is guarded by multiple laser turrets and every enemy type you've fought so far. Then you beat the game by, and I kid you not, slowly walking up a ramp and pressing a button. You don't even kill Cortana. She escapes, leaving you with yet another cliffhanger ending. Are you kidding me? And they couldn't even throw a little originality into this borefest so we'd at least experience something new. After all, Where else have we seen the rogue AI threatens existence storyline? That's right. Where else have we seen heroes chasing after other heroes that they believe have gone bad? That's right. And finally, where else have we seen storylines ruined by swapping out beloved characters for new ones that we couldn't give less of a shit about? That's right. While most of this experience is what you would expect from a post-Halo 2 Halo game, and we've had Halo games before where you didn't play as Master Chief, those were side stories that didn't have Master Chief's mug plastered all over the box and wasn't teased with cutscenes showing Chief in action. It's almost like when the trailer for Hudson Hawk came out and made it look like another Bruce Willis action fest, only for it to turn out to be a screwball comedy about a bumbling cat burglar. Don't set up expectations that you have no intention of fulfilling. This is a lesson Neil Druckmann is continuing to learn this year, and it's a lesson 343 Studios desperately needs to learn before Halo Infinite comes out this November. Oh, sorry. Sometime next year. Halo 5 gets a 3 out of 7. So hey there, how'd you like this video? Drop me a comment and let me know. While you're at it, toss this video a like, why don't you? If you're not subscribed, please do. Don't forget to click the bell so you're notified every time I upload. You can follow me on Twitter, links in the description. If you want to chat with me live, the 7th Cast is held on Twitch every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. Central. Link is also in the description. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is 7th.